It's simply one of the greatest occasions this sport can offer. And isn't it funny how, despite all the upsets in the early rounds, somehow, some way, the cream rises to the top. Two players who have won the sport's most coveted trophies, in O'Sullivan's case, many times over. But Shaun Murphy knows how to beat the Rocket now over the championship distance. He proved it at the Champion of Champions. How significant will that victory be in this match today? What an occasion, what a crowd, what an atmosphere. Why would you want to be anywhere else?
The first frame.
And the first question to Joe Johnson is, what's your prediction?
Well, if Jimmy White can have two predictions,
You all got
I should be able to have two predictions.
Oh, go on, have three.
I'm going to have three. I think it's going to be 10-4, O'Sullivan.
The first frame.
10-8.
O'Sullivan to break.
Shaun Murphy.
Can't pick two different winners, for goodness sake.
I'm setting a new precedent.
Well, I think it's safe to say they're not the best of friends, these two, but they certainly have a lot of respect for each other's talent. Shaun Murphy has been quite outspoken in the past about some of Ronnie O'Sullivan's utterances that he hasn't agreed with, but whenever you ask him about O'Sullivan's ability, he is unequivocal. The best of all time. And that was so bad, it ended up being good.
Why?
Is that an omen?
Well, he'd left a red to the left centre when he missed this one. And bringing the pink into play, which I think is a good shot.
Murphy won.
So, a mistake, too hard, too high. And needs to put Ronnie O'Sullivan under pressure straight away. And that's not the best shot he's played, although he could be on the pink. I can't understand why he doesn't play that with right-hand side and send the cue ball up towards the blue and baulk colours. He's guaranteed to be on a ball that way. He's very fortunate to be on the pink.
Seven. Eight. $14. 15. 20.
Well, he's just run a little too far for this
26.
red, but it could work to his advantage. Could open more reds.
27.
Could be a red just below the pink that would go to the right corner. Can't get on it this time.
$32.
And looks straightish
33.
on the blue again. And this time the red is not so easy. Overscrewed it. But he's a tall fella. He may be able to
38.
reach this red.
We've talked ad infinitum throughout this tournament and many times in the past about O'Sullivan being a fantastic front runner. So vital for Shaun Murphy today that he can stay with the rocket in the early stages. Of course, he managed to build a lead in the Champion of Champions final and withstood a comeback from O'Sullivan. Can't afford to fall 2 or 3 frames behind. He has had a couple of hidings from the rocket in the past, most notably at the World Championship, 13-7 this year. 13-3 3 years ago at the Crucible.
Yes, and that's why, exactly why, Shaun Murphy has to do the leading in this match. That's a good recovery shot. Played it confidently.
47.
Because if he does get behind, it could be a slaughter. But every chance of winning this frame now, especially if that red next to the pink goes. I don't think he could have played that any better. Played for the red
52.
to the middle, but if he was on this red to the left corner, it would have been a bonus, and looks like he is on it.
$53.
Just the red then
60.
for the perfect start from the Magician. Well, the opening red was a bit ropey from long range, the one that he fluked into the green pocket, but the rest, since he got back in, has been all skill, and he's got that swagger about him again, hasn't he, Murphy? Striding round the table purposefully.
Yes, he got a little bit fortunate
66.
busting the pack open and finishing on the pink.
67.
But from there, it's been a marvellous break.
These two have been banging in the centuries for fun all
74.
week. 11 combined. Murphy's made 4.
75. $82. 83. $90.
90.
91. $96.
Oh, certainly got hold of that one.
98.
Yes, he's got cue power to burn, Murphy. Hit that too well, didn't he?
Good recovery, though. And that's the first century of this final.
And highly unlikely to be the last. What a day to have a ticket at the Barbican. This could be something
105.
really, truly extra special.
$110. $116.
Easy as 1, 2, 3. A brilliant clearance from Shaun Murphy. What a start to the UK final. What an afternoon and evening we had ahead with us. Welcome back to the Barbican. A blistering opening from the magician Shaun Murphy with a clearance of 123 in the opening frame. There's a statement of intent. Gauntlet so thrown. Will Ronnie O'Sullivan pick it up straight away? Two of the most attractive players to watch when they're in full flow.
Thank you. The second frame. We turn that off, please. Shaun Murphy to break.
Looking at the possible plant. And it could reverse a little, this, because they are close together. So it needs to hit this thick, I think. Yep. Cue ball needs to slow down.
One.
And just got there. Unfortunate to have left the plant off the break. As the angles come down for the black. And you see this red at the back of the pack there. He likes to leave himself an angle on that red to open the pack of reds up. Let's see if that's what he plays. A couple of shots time. So instead of finishing straight on the red, leaves himself low on it.
13.
Well, just come a little too far to open them
20.
right up, but might be able to knock one or two out. And he had that right-hand side on the cue ball. Open the reds up. Look at the side on the cue ball as it comes off the cushion. It goes up towards the blue. Giving himself every chance of being on a colour.
Foul.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Ronnie O'Sullivan 21. Shaun Murphy 6.
Didn't catch the reds full enough. And that can happen if you catch them half ball like that. Well, there's a lot of pressure on this red if he decides to stun for the black. He'll be leaving reds on. Decided to go up for the blue. Or one of the ball colours. And the way that Shaun's playing at the moment, you wouldn't put it past him to win this frame from here. Come a little too far for the red, for the black.
3.
But he can go up for the blue. 100% pot success.
Four. Nine. Ten.
Well, he could go into the reds here with the insurance of both reds to either side.
$17. 18.
Took the opportunity that time round. Well, that red was still available.
25. $26.
Yes, it was close. And that could have missed on some of the tables that they play on. No.
Slightly hampered with his cueing. That was enough to make it awkward.
Yes, and it could be a little turning point, that, you know, because it could have been 2-0 up there very easily. And if it's one each and Ronnie gets on a run because of that, obviously you want to make him pay. And the balls are there to make him pay.
One. Six. Seven.
Just overscrewed it a little. Wanted to be straight
13.
on the red to be able to play for the black. He's
14.
a little slow. Gonna come between the brown and yellow with the two reds into the right corner. And has to play this plain ball, or otherwise he'll get too much side on. That's good. Very,
Just missed the brown, didn't he?
very nearly caught it, and that would have been disaster.
It's almost as though the cue ball swerved past the brown at the very last moment. That could be the difference between winning and losing this frame for O'Sullivan. An important one, as you say, Joe, early in the piece, because Murphy was looking threatening there.
27.
It could change the whole match, this, without a shadow of a doubt. If O'Sullivan gets on a run after this frame, hasn't won it yet, though. He's looking at playing onto the pink, which will get him to the next red. Decided to play up.
28.
So check side and play up for the pink. Just needs to drop it in dead weight. Well, because he nearly missed the pink, hit it too thin, he's lost the cue ball.
34.
£23 points the difference, so red and big colour should be enough, and I'll make Shaun Murphy think if he can pot this red, not easy. Made absolutely sure of the red. They're tough pots. They look easy on television, but he had to take the utmost care on that red.
Especially with extensions on cue and rest. This is frame ball. Well, Shaun Murphy had the chance to take a 2-0 lead.
42.
He finished awkwardly on the black. His cueing was somewhat hampered.
44.
He missed the black off its spot. And Ronnie O'Sullivan has punished him.
Well, he nearly missed the red previous, didn't he?
47.
So battle is joined.
51. 56.
Shaun hasn't got to
62.
let it affect him, that missed black. Going to put it out of his mind.
A 1-2-3 clearance from Shaun Murphy in the opening frame. Ronnie O'Sullivan got his chance in the second after Murphy missed the black. And a break of 62 as he fouls the final black, levels the match. One frame apiece in the final. Ronnie O'Sullivan chalks his cue. He'll be pleased to have levelled, because it was looking at one stage in that second frame that Shaun Murphy was going to double his lead. He was looking very confident, striding around the table like a man on a mission, but missed
Frame
the black.
3. Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
And O'Sullivan, as he has done so impressively throughout this tournament, punishing any mistake with a clinical frame-winning contribution. He did it yesterday against Maguire. At key moments, most notably when he sat out for half an hour, Maguire making his comeback, Mr. Yellow. And that was the cue for Ronnie, who hadn't had a shot for 30 minutes, to make a sublime century clearance. That's how good he is. That's how focused he is at the moment, Joe.
Yeah, absolutely focused. But I think they both are. But that's what you call a break-off. Got the cue ball where he wanted it. And they're starting young. Looks very much like my granddaughter, Demi Jo. Well, there's applause, but it could have cost him the frame. What a let-off. What a let-off.
It's the 4th time they've contested a final, the first in a ranking event, though. They also met in the final of the Premier League, remember that? 1 win apiece.
1.
And of course, Murphy won the Champion of Champions final this season. And I wonder whether he really believed he could beat Ronnie O'Sullivan over a match like the best of 19 before that final. Now he knows he can, and that could be very significant today.
Nine.
Well, he could go into them here if he's feeling super confident. Wow, very nice. Shaun's turn to have a bit of bad luck.
9, Ronnie O'Sullivan 5.
He was on the black. Sorry, he was on the red. Well, the red directly above the black. If he cannons that, or both of the reds at the same time, he should be on reds to both corners. Good job, it wasn't harder.
Eight. Nine.
Again, he could play the cannon to the red above the black. No need to. Leaves him on choice of reds.
16. Done. 17. $24. 25.
Well, Murphy was unlucky, no question about it. Knocking in a red with the blue. Had he not done so, you'd have backed him to do what O'Sullivan looks likely to do here.
32.
Make a frame-winning break. But of course, O'Sullivan suffered similar misfortune
33.
prior to that.
Yes, he went in off the reds, didn't he? He's just come a little far there, and if he plays the cannon to the two reds by the pink spot, he's not supposed to be on a red. And that's what he's concerned about. If he was guaranteed to be on a red, he'd play the cannon to those two reds. Nicely played. This red will go.
38.
And just about the right side. This table not running as fast as they normally do.
$43. $44. $49. $50.
And he can just about miss the red on the cushion. Just checking the scores. So red and a black
57.
is enough.
58.
And it never really looked in doubt, did it, in the moment that Murphy unluckily knocked the red in with the blue. Both of these players capable of
65.
punishing every error with something big.
66. $73. 74.
Ronnie O'Sullivan has talked about how he feels he's scrapped his way to this final, Mark Selby-like. Well, he's scrapped pretty impressively with 7 centuries already.
Yeah,
81.
you have to laugh at what he says sometimes. But I do know what he means, because he's won a lot of close frames. He's battled hard for those close frames when he hasn't made a century or a big break. And that's what I've been impressed with
89.
this week. He's really got stuck in when he hasn't played his best.
91.
And then produced his best when you least expect it.
And sometimes those smaller breaks are more hurtful because they come as a result of your opponent missing when they're well ahead, and
94.
O'Sullivan then conjures a frame-winning clearance to win on the pink or the black. Those are the frames that linger.
98.
Well, it always looked like being something really special today, and it's certainly living up to its billing. There's sports psychiatrist Dr. Steve Peters, instrumental in producing this zen-like calm that Ronnie O'Sullivan seems to have these days in the big matches. And having lost the opening frame, he wins back-to-back frames, that one with a century, to lead Murphy by 2 frames to 1. Ronnie O'Sullivan leads Shaun Murphy 2-1 in the UK Championship final, and already it's been quite a spectacle. A century from each player. Shaun Murphy unlucky in that frame to pot the blue, but knock in a red as well.
Thank you.
And
The
that left
fourth
them
frame.
all there for O'Sullivan. He made
Shaun
no
Murphy to
mistake.
break.
And already we're at the frame before the interval.
Pushed the red towards that left corner, but it's finished up close to the cushion, makes it difficult. But the other two reds out in the open, they're an option, and he's been knocking these in with such consistency. Average shot time, look at that. Murphy in front. 13 seconds. Look at that. What a shot. And what timing that was on the cue ball. Timed it so well. This was struck superbly.
Too well again.
But hardly touched that white ball. Didn't really hit it that hard. He just timed it so well. And I think this is already is a must-win frame for Shaun Murphy.
Six.
He could hold for the black, but he'd be the wrong side of the black. So I may have to play it for the blue. And it's the right side. Come down for this red just below the black, or he could go into them. This time, thought better of it.
$12.
Well, left the angle on the black, a little bit too much angle. He's going to have to play this now with left-hand side on the cue ball. Makes the shot a little bit more difficult. Giving it full consideration, doesn't want to miss another black off the spot. Yeah, just didn't get enough left-hand side on the cue ball. And this red down the cushion is a tough one. Needed to catch that red full in the face. Not that one, the one in front of the black. Not enough side. A little bit of a dilemma, because if he doesn't play the red, he knows that O'Sullivan may do.
Shaun Murphy, 20.
Well, that was an ambitious shot. I think he was trying to cut the red in. He could have been trying to play safe off that red and caught it too thin. I don't think he went for the pot there, just caught it too thin. The side took it away from the red.
One.
So another chance for Shaun Murphy.
Seven.
Just having a little squint there, wasn't he? He's wearing contact lenses now, Shaun. And doesn't seem to be doing too badly with them.
Eight.
Well, he may have played for the black there, but he's gone a little far. But he's got the ideal angle on the yellow to bust the pack. Well, that's unfortunate. Caught the pink instead of the reds. So he's been in twice.
10.
Could have played for the loose red, but chose to be aggressive. Well, he can't leave the cue ball in the middle of the table there. And Sullivan would have a free go at this red to the right corner.
Shaun Murphy, 10.
Short of pace. May have left a thin cut to the left corner. Yeah, good pace on the cue ball. Look at that cue ball. But he may have left a half chance. If he can pop the red to the left corner and miss the pack. Well, thinking of leaving the cue ball on the black cushion, but that's dangerous. Would be a red to the right middle. Yeah, if he can play that shot, that would be the shot to play. If not, then maybe try and roll that red in down the cushion. He'd only leave the red he was playing on. Cue ball should be dead on the black cushion. It's a big shot.
It's a big frame, isn't it? Murphy's played some great stuff in this mini session, but it won't count for much if he's trailing 3-1.
Yeah, I mean, normally, if he'd have been playing somebody else, he'd have took this red on down the cushion by now. Well, he couldn't have got any closer without it dropping, but it's going to cost him. And should be 3-1 down. How close was this? I thought it was in at one stage.
Well, Ronnie O'Sullivan comes to the table 30 points behind. This would be a serious early blow in the final for Murphy if O'Sullivan produces yet another frame-winning break.
1.
Well, found the gap there, but I don't think he played that. The other side of the blue, I think he played, to give himself chance of 2 colours. It couldn't have landed any better. And he tried to clear the pink spot there by playing the cannon to that red.
8.
Because now he can play for the pink or the black, but it would go on to the brown spot.
9.
It shouldn't make a difference. Can do the damage with the black and blue. And you can always tell when O'Sullivan's at his best because that cue ball is spot on each time.
15.
And again there, it was an easy pot, but to get perfect position.
16.
Now, if he plays the cannon, it could go wrong. He can play for the red just below the pink. Well, he's on a red to the middle.
23.
Stunning stats. Murphy at 95%, and yet he might find himself trailing 3-1 at the first interval.
Having made a 1-2-3 break, and I was saying at the time that that miss black could be very, very important. He was looking like being 2-0 up. And he's looking like being 3-1 down now.
$30.
Scores all level.
$31.
Left himself straighter on this red than he would have wanted.
$38. 39. $46. 47. 54.
So just looking to see where he wants to be, to either nudge those two reds or drop in behind them. I'm not sure if one of them will go to the middle. I think it will, but
55.
I'm not sure. Well, he's come too far. He's come too far there, so it could be a life here for Murphy. He's going to have to come between the yellow and brown unless he can screw directly at them. Through the yellow and brown. Is he hard enough? Don't think he's hard enough. Not hard enough.
62.
Another 6 inches.
Well, the crowd enjoyed the attempted positional shot, but it looks as though this frame isn't done yet. Sullivan still needs a red in the colour.
Well, he's managed to push a red towards
Ronnie
the side
Sullivan,
cushion.
62.
And that in itself was a good shot from where they were. And you can see that he's not happy getting on them two reds, but it was the positional shot on the black from an easy red that he had. He looked to see where he wanted to be and then played it too hard. And this is a good safety from Shaun Murphy. Nothing safe. Cracking shot. Now then, great chance for Shaun Murphy. And this was all because he didn't get position on the black.
Well, these are big moments early in the UK final. If Shaun Murphy can get in at the interval at 2 each, he'll be delighted. Probably feels as though he deserves to be level. But sometimes you don't get what you deserve. And it was looking like 3-1 O'Sullivan, a very handy early lead, particularly after losing the first to a century. This is the attempted positional shot. It would have been wonderful if he'd made it.
Yeah, the point is that he shouldn't have been there on the black. He had an easy red prior to that black. He looked to see where he wanted to be and then came down too far. And not often you see O'Sullivan play a loose positional shot like that. Well, if you can take the pink, it makes it easier to get to the brown at some stage. Shouldn't be a problem to get to the brown, just needs to finish straightish on the pink.
14.
And that will do nicely. Doesn't need the black.
$17. $21.
And perfectly onto the blue. So it's going to be set up all nicely. And he let Shaun Murphy off there, no shadow of a doubt. By not getting good position on the black, he had to send the cue ball round the table.
26.
Well, it's been a tremendous opening salvo here at the Barbican. O'Sullivan could have forced the respot with this black. Barring something unforeseen, like a piece of wildlife in the jaws of the pocket. Is that a Ronnie O'Sullivan fan, I wonder? Well, if he was, he is no longer. Murphy takes frame 4 on the black, and that is a very significant frame, you feel, in the context of what is already proving to be a wonderful spectacle for this packed Barbican crowd. And it's as you were after the first 4 frames, level pegging, both with a century. O'Sullivan 2, Murphy 2. Well, the only certainty for the remainder of this session is that someone is going to emerge with a lead. 5 more to come.
Frame 5.
What has already been a compelling spectacle. Both players producing some great stuff. They both had a bit of ill fortune. And I think, Joe, that 2-all, all things considered, is about right.
Yeah, I think the luck has evened itself out. Both missed important balls, and it's cost them both in both frames. Match time just 50 minutes. Wonderful stuff. Average frame time, just over 12 minutes. And what about that? I mean, that is a superb pop. Just off straight, gets down, knocks it in, and so it's over the pocket. What a shot, and very, very difficult shots to play, just off straight. Well, he's going to be going into them, there's no doubt about that. Anybody hurt? And if that red stops, he's on one. I think the red has just come in front of it, you know. It has. He caught the pink absolutely beautiful. Sent a red over that right corner pocket. But this red has just come in the way to foil things. And look at this for a shot. Well, he couldn't have got any closer, but he's left O'Sullivan with a great chance. And this is what I like about Shaun Murphy, attacking. Makes him so good to watch. Okay, it doesn't always work. But when it does, something special.
Foul.
Would you believe that?
Shaun Murphy 4.
He's touched a red with his waistcoat as he was getting down to cue. Well, how expensive is that going to prove to be? Paul Collier with the eagle eyes.
Murphy with the same thing.
Thank you.
Precarious in the extreme, but he looks okay. This is awkward cueing, though. No, that was always going to be very difficult.
Oh. And O'Sullivan straight back in with this red over the pocket.
Really, really difficult. I mean, the shot wasn't easy as it was, but having to be mindful of the red that O'Sullivan fouled inadvertently.
He'll settle for that. He couldn't play it much harder because the cue ball would have stayed down that end of the table with all the topspin on, so he had to play it steady. Stretching over reds again. And just come back a little too far for comfort.
6.
He'll be wanting to save that red over the baulk corner in case he gets into trouble.
7.
Now, he can get to the red by the black spot, which would lead him to the black, possibly. The red to the left of the reds, just to the left of the pink spot there. That's available too. The red to the left of the pink spot is the one that I think he wants to get onto. And he could open the reds up. Well, that certainly developed things. Always knew he was going to be on that red over the baulk corner if he didn't land on one of these reds.
$13. $18.
And now he's got the red in the baulk corner if he so wishes to play on it. He could try and come down for one of the reds, and he'd still have that red over the corner if he didn't get there.
$24. 25.
And not a good positional shot on the blue. Yeah, didn't want to catch the yellow. He would have been on the red in the middle of that cluster.
30.
Wonderful shot.
31.
Didn't quite get the right side of the blue, but a great recovery shot. May take the yellow, the brown. I'll try and send the cue ball round the table off the blue.
$33.
Yeah, I'll be cross about that one.
Well, he seemed to pot a lot of balls there for 32. And he hasn't played
Ronnie
the best safety shot.
33.
33, should I say.
An amazing 98% pot success, though, so far from O'Sullivan. Murphy, a handsome 93.
A very good effort. Tried to get that cue ball out of danger, but he's left a red onto the right corner. Couldn't see him missing that one. And it was a great shot. Didn't try to pull it back into the balk area. He's underhit that one. Could have done with being at least 3 foot closer to this red.
6.
Not sure if he's got the angle to stun next to that red. That would leave him on the black. Well, tried to
7.
run through for the black. And I don't think he's on it. Had he screwed to the red next to it, and I think it was easy enough to do that, it'd have been guaranteed to have been on the black. And he could bring the pink into play. Try and get the cue ball dead on the cushion behind the green.
Bramble. Shaun Murphy, 7.
So a chance here for Shaun. Been very good on the long pots. And still is.
1.
And unless he can see the yellow, the kiss could have been kinder.
Bramble.
Very unfortunate not to be on a colour there.
Shaun Murphy, 1.
And hasn't cut off the left side of the table, which is the easier way to escape. Just come off the side cushion, land up to that red behind the black. If it had cut off that side of the table, it would have been much more difficult. I think he can get the snooker behind the black. Just stun off the black cushion.
Well, the first 4 frames were pretty breathless, weren't they? So this is something of a timeout right now, at the start of the post-interval session.
Well, without the kiss, it could have been a snooker. As it is, there's a half chance here for Shaun Murphy. Just going to be aware of the pink on that right side cushion.
Terrific pot.
Terrific kiss.
Well, he deserved it, didn't he? What a pot this was.
Although this isn't easy.
Pressure on it, certainly.
Didn't play it as though there was any pressure there. What a pot this was. Look at this.
8.
Good kiss on the black, just avoided the in-off. And every chance of taking the frame now.
Shaun Murphy looked a little shocked in his chair when that one went in.
£31 points the difference. Red, black, red.
16.
Is enough.
$17.
Just checking. And sometimes that's the hardest thing to do down there.
$24.
The crowd know that was frame ball. A frame that was in the balance right up until Ronnie O'Sullivan knocked in that sensational long red, gone on the black.
32.
Made the black look easy, it wasn't. And he's back in front.
33. $37. 39.
The green is academic. It was the long-range red after Shaun Murphy must have thought it was relatively safe, but did the damage for Ronnie O'Sullivan as he leads by 3 frames to 2. A UK final chock full of quality from both players, and Ronnie O'Sullivan produced a moment of inspiration in that 5th frame, which made the difference, raking in a long red. Such a tough pot. He got position on the black as well. That wasn't easy. Knocked that in and cleared up to lead 3-2.
Thank you,
well,
frame 6.
Shaun Murphy fans
Shaun Murphy to
could
break.
argue that it was a great pot, but it was also a good kiss on the black, which he didn't play. Unfortunate not to going off. So maybe it was a great pot, and maybe he did deserve something for that great pot. Safety success favouring Murphy. Caught it too thick. But no damage done.
If there is a weakness to Murphy's game, and it's all relative, of course, it is his tactical play. But this week, he's played some very good safety.
And he's in front on this match. 93% is very good.
And as for his long pots, well, they're just off the scale.
Well, I said no damage done. I didn't realise that red went. But what a terrific pot this was from Shaun Murphy. Deserves everything he gets from that. Long pot success equal at 71%, which is very good for the amount of long pots that they go for.
Yeah, anything from around the mid-60s is good.
Right.
If you're getting 2 out of 3, very good. 3 out of 4, even better. And 4 out of 5, well, you're on fire. Murphy was asked about his form this season. Of course, he's made 2 ranking finals as well as winning the Champion of Champions. And what his secret had been to the consistency he's shown. Oh, not again. That is outrageous.
Shaun Murphy
Well,
9,
that's so
Ronnie
unlucky.
O'Sullivan 5.
Yes, it is. It's very unfortunate. Let's have a look at this again.
I was just saying that Murphy had been asked what the secret of his recent form was, and he said he didn't really know. Wasn't really doing anything that much different, but whatever it was, he said he wanted to try and keep the dice spinning for as long as possible. I mean, this is just so unlucky, Joe.
Yeah, it is, yeah, without a doubt. I mean, it wasn't a natural plant, and you take your chances when you play that shot, but to knock two in the same match is very, very unfortunate. And he's left an angle on this red, I think, to be able to play the nudge to the pink or black. Not quite. Tried to flick the black.
6.
Left-hand side on the cue ball, which gives him nice position on this red.
11.
He's got to try and get the right side of the blue this time to be able to open the reds up. Again,
12.
I think he tried to flick the reds with all the top spin on. But now he's got to play that shot again with a lot of left-hand side on the cue ball. Well, this is a plant there. Disappointed making contact with the brown.
17. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 17.
But he puts that white ball just where he wants it. And look at that for a safety. Covered all the reds.
Just a little tap on the table there from Murphy. Quickly forgets about the disappointment of crashing into the brown to lose position by playing a top-class safety. More evidence of the sanguine mentality of O'Sullivan these days. Doesn't let disappointment affect him for very long at all, in a way that he may have done in the past. That looks potentially short. He's got there, though.
Yes, I was with you. I thought it was short.
Seemed to gather pace, didn't it?
Looks good. Well, he could try and play the shot that he's just played. Land up to these two reds behind the black. Can't see him leaving anything from this. Doesn't want to bring the red too far off the cushion. That's his problem. And to get the cue ball down the table missing the brown, he may have to bring the red off the cushion. Can Murphy be tempted by this red? He'd have to play it with left-hand side on the cue ball. No, not interested. I just wonder if there's a red available, the one directly below the pink spot. If it goes to the left corner. Another very good safety.
We're seeing the full arsenal of skills that this game can bring today, aren't we? Big breaks, centuries, tremendous long potting, great safety, bottle, nerve. It's a pretty intoxicating package.
Yes, that wasn't bad either. Had to catch it extremely thin to avoid the red on the right side cushion. Caught it too thick, and he was fortunate that that red kissed the other reds. Although it's still on to the corner, and Shaun's been attacking everything and getting most of them.
Another tremendous spot from range from Murphy.
Absolutely wonderful. And full marks for staying so positive and fighting. And he's got a great chance now. Not an easy clearance. But the black and pink free now. And might be able to leave an angle on the black here to disturb those two reds and stay on the one to the left corner.
Seven.
Just needs a little touch to develop them.
$13. 14. 20. 21.
We talked at the start of the match about the importance of
26.
Murphy staying with O'Sullivan, not allowing the rocket to get 2-3 frames ahead. That's how you apply the pressure.
27.
So this is a very important break.
Just didn't come far enough there. I think he wanted to be on the black to give the reds a nudge. Just a little bit too much right-hand side on the cue ball.
33.
So Sullivan will be coming back to the table. Watch the side. Just too much.
Thanks, Shaun. Shaun Murphy, 33.
So just 20 points in it. Still 59 available.
Yeah, good job it kissed. He's pushed one over. Can O'Sullivan see it? Not with that little kiss. That little kiss saved him. Well, he could go in off here, but I don't think he'd be too bothered if he did. The red would be safe.
Shaun Murphy, 4.
Well, it might be cuttable. Very nearly missed the red. Overcut it. And the kiss didn't save him this time. Although he is slightly hampered over the green. Well, the snooker's not going to gain him anything. Easy enough to come off the cushion, land up to the reds. He could just touch the green. Leave the cue ball on the baulk cushion.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 1.
Not too bothered about not getting the snooker. Wanted Shaun to catch them thick, like he has done, and this is a chance. A bit straight on the pink. No, it's got a bit of an angle. Come off the cushion, try and disturb the reds.
Seven.
What a shot that was. Quite incredible.
Object ball off the cushion. That was tough.
Well, he could leave Shaun Murphy hampered, play the green, leave the cue ball in front of the green. That would be a tough shot. Or he could play the snooker, touch the yellow, he's snookered.
Ronnie O'Sullivan,
Missed
8.
the snooker. And he just touched the yellow and was snookered. I'd have favoured leaving that cue ball right in front of the green net. It would have been very, very difficult to hit thin. It's over the pocket. Well, the red's easy enough, but the cue ball's going into the green. So unless he screws off the green, it's going to be difficult to get to a colour.
One.
By the standards of the previous frames, this one has been lengthy, but no less gripping. Very, very important for Shaun Murphy.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 1.
I don't think he's got the snooker. No, this is definitely a chance. He'd be on the green if he stuns the yellow in.
And he'd need the green and brown to go with it to level the match.
Great pot. He doesn't want it to bounce too far.
2.
I think it's bounced a little too far. Yeah. Don't think he can pop that. And it's already a big frame, this. 4-2 or 3 each. Great pot on the yellow, but just lost the cue ball. Well, he'd be pleased to knock that pink a little closer to the cushion. Well, this time it's O'Sullivan who's pushed the green over the pocket. It's gone in. He had the snooker.
Yes, he didn't really want that, did he?
Well, he's still got a very easy safety shot. But he could have done without that green going in, as you say.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 3.
So now Murphy needs the brown and the blue. Sullivan needs them all.
Not one of his best, and didn't get any luck. Poor safety from Shaun. Not hard enough. He's not coming towards the pink without sending the cue ball all the way around the table. And he needs them all. This looks good. This looks good.
9.
This looks very good.
Well, Shaun Murphy pinched the 4th frame on the final black to level the match at 2 each, and now Ronnie O'Sullivan has the chance to return the compliment to move 2 clear for the first time in this final. Which he does. It was a tremendous positional shot from blue to pink, and that's a bit of a hammer blow for the magician as the rocket powers into a 4-2 lead. Paul Collier resets the reds, and a potentially highly significant frame has just come and gone here at the Barbican in the UK final. Rocket Ronnie O'Sullivan moving 2 frames clear, pinching that 6th frame on the final black. Shaun Murphy experiencing more bad luck early in the piece when he went into the pack of reds, not one in, as he did earlier. Of course, there were other chances after that, but in the end, it's O'Sullivan who's taken it. And he's 4-2 clear, so Murphy needs a quick response now. 3 more frames in this first session. A possible 10 this evening if we go all the way. I'm sure this Barbican crowd are hoping that's the case. It's been terrific entertainment. Both players playing exceptionally well as they've done throughout the tournament. They both thoroughly deserve to be in the final. And it's O'Sullivan with the edge at 4-2. If he wins the next one, of course, he's guaranteed a lead of some sort going into the final concluding session. But Murphy hasn't done a lot wrong. So he has to stay positive, Joe.
Yes, it was just that last shot on the brown, wasn't it? That his safety let him down after playing so well on the safety. One shot cost him. Got to try and stay positive because there's hardly anything in this match. I know Sullivan's 4-2 up, but it's only maybe 1 or 2 shots. Well, that's freed the black. A little unfortunate catching the brown full in the face, but hasn't left anything except an easy safety shot. And O'Sullivan with a good chance of getting that cue ball in behind the brown. Not hard enough. He had the line of the shot, didn't have the pace.
1.
Well, that's where he played the cue ball too. He raised his hand for the float red. Funnily enough, it could have costed him the frame if this brown doesn't go in.
This is a horrible shot, isn't it? Blind pocket, thin.
Don't think he's taking it on. Don't blame him. That's a good safety.
Shaun Murphy 1.
Cutting off the right side of the reds.
Murphy loves to attack, and he's done so all week long, all season long, really, but you have to know when to rein it in, and 4-2 down to O'Sullivan. He can't afford to push the boat out at this stage. Has to stay with the rocket if he can.
Well, it was a real pressure shot, the brown, wasn't it? And as you say, it could have cost him dearly had he missed it. This looks good as well. And there is no red there this time to escape from. What a safety shot. What a pace. Appreciated by this very knowledgeable crowd here at York. Could land up to those 3 reds behind the black spot. Coming off the right side cushion.
Foul. And a miss. Ronnie O'Sullivan 4. Back.
Well, this is so difficult, but he must be able to see the red.
This way a little bit. Look at that. Okay. Thank you. Foul. And a miss. Ronnie O'Sullivan 4.
I don't think he can see a red full ball. Let's have a look where the cue ball is replaced. I don't think he can see one full ball.
Shaun Murphy making life harder for himself here by telling the referee it was a fraction to the left. Well, he obviously can see one full ball.
Yes, he's been warned. You naughty boy.
Well, what a safety shot it was from O'Sullivan. Might just turn out to be a frame-winning safety shot.
Well, he could come off the right side cushion, land up into those 3 reds that I suggested. He's got 3 reds to go at. Now, what's the damage? Can you see this red? That's closest to the left corner. I don't think you can see the easy red, and this one is tough.
Yeah, the last thing O'Sullivan wants to do is hand Murphy a chance here. And that red is tough, very missable.
Oh, that's a super shot. That really is a good shot. He's a great middle pocket player. And O'Sullivan slams them into the middles from nowhere, and he can roll them into the middle as well, as we've just seen.
Well, the gentleman in the crowd said it. Great shot.
I was about to say that Shaun had been a little fortunate with his last shot. Not anymore. Just a little pacey.
6. Seven.
Now back in prime position. He'd like to take that red away from the black spot, but I'm not sure if he's got the angle to get to that red just yet. Well, I think he overthought everything
Ronnie
there.
O'Sullivan, 12.
I don't think this was the red he played for. I think he played for the red nearest the pocket. Look where the cue ball is.
Surprising. Shaun Murphy will be relieved. I'm not sure he's left anything, though, O'Sullivan.
No, maybe he hasn't left anything, but at least he's not at the table scoring. That's the way that Shaun Murphy should be thinking. Well, it wasn't far away, but it's a half chance this now for Shaun Murphy. Wasn't the best safety shot from Shaun, and it could have been very costly. Yeah, good shot. One. And now a great chance.
Six. 7.
That was a nice shot. He's got such great cue power, Shaun Murphy. And he's on this red to the right corner. Choice of pink or black. Preferably the pink.
14.
Till he can take that red away from the black spot area. Can't do it next shot.
$20. 21.
But he could play on that red this time round, the one that's closest to the black spot. He doesn't need to, because as long as he keeps scoring, he's okay, but he'd like to get the black back on its spot. It makes it easier to play those 3 reds behind the black spot.
27. 28. 33. 34.
And now he can take the black, get the black back on its spot. And the black is free to both pockets.
41.
It was Ronnie O'Sullivan's turn to miss an opportunity. And absolutely vital from Shaun Murphy's point of view that he punishes that. Closes the gap to 1.
42.
Well, that's not the best shot he's ever played. I don't think he knows what's happened there. He was hoping to take the place of the red with the cue ball, but he's come back to the cushion too far. Played that well, which leaves him on this red. But a real pressure shot, this.
49.
Near knuckle, but it dropped in. 31 points, the difference. Does it need those 2 reds under the cushion?
$57.
A little too far.
58.
But he'd only need the red, so doesn't need to do anything special with the cue ball, just leave himself with a pot on this red. Somewhere around about there, where he can reach it.
.44 the lead. The red will make it 45 with 43
63.
on. It'll be 2 snookers for O'Sullivan if Murphy sinks the blue.
.69.
Well, he doesn't want to leave him an easy chance, rolling the red over the pocket. So I agree with that shot. Send the cue ball, that red down the table. Well, so
Shaun
close to going
69.
in. The only way to get to the black here, and he needs the black from this red, is to play it cushion first. And that will do nicely. He's on the black. Just about. He needs the black. Otherwise, it's 2 snookers to tie.
.7. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 7.
Ronnie O'Sullivan concedes. Well, the 60-odd break there from Shaun Murphy, not his best at the final, but it may be the most important because he's closed the gap to a single frame again at 4-3. Shaun Murphy back in the picture, 5-2. The alarm bells would have been sounding, but an excellent 60-plus break after Ronnie O'Sullivan was in and missed a red. So instead of a 3-frame gap, it's a much more manageable 1-frame disadvantage for Murphy, with 2 more to come in this session. The pace may have slowed a little since the interval, but it's no less compelling. O'Sullivan leaving the arena after the disappointment of losing that frame when he had a chance.
Thank you. The final frame of this session.
Well, I
Shaun
beg your
Murphy
pardon.
to break.
There are only 8 in this session. Had been advised there were 9. So it could be honours even, or it could be a 2-frame gap restored for O'Sullivan. 10, of course, is the target.
What a great pot. And nothing you can do about that, Shaun. He's knocked in a fantastic red. He's finished nicely on a colour.
Four.
A little switch to left-handed.
Five.
And got the angle to go into the reds. Oh, simple black off the spot.
Ronnie O'Sullivan 5.
Saw what it meant to him. That was a real knuckle duster.
Wasn't even close. Well, a rarity indeed. Furious. We saw him wrap the table when he missed the opportunity to force a deciding frame in Coventry at the Champion of Champions final. Murphy then mopping up the colours to win that very prestigious event.
Well, this is a great chance to punish, because he'll be sat there thinking, there's no doubt about that. He's only human. Well, he's still on a red, but he didn't catch the reds. He caught that loose red.
8.
And that's why they haven't split. Needed to play it with a lot more left-hand side on the cue ball to catch the reds themselves. Sullivan straight back in again. Let's hope
Murphy
he
8.
hasn't hurt his cue in hand. You're going to hit the table, hit it with your left hand. Oh, forgot he can play with both.
Well, pretty rare to see Murphy miss with the rest. It wasn't easy, of course, but he'll be disappointed not to have punished O'Sullivan more there. And now Ronnie can forget about the easy miss on the black, although this isn't ideal.
It's got to be the yellow, I think. Good pot. Does that red next to the pink go? If it does, that was a cracking positional shot.
3.
That's got to hurt. It would have hurt a lot more, though, if Shaun Murphy had made something big as a result of the miss. And now O'Sullivan back in prime position with the double.
And a risky double, the way he played it. He'd left the red on. This is the double, but look where the cue ball finished.
11.
It finished high on the black.
12.
That hasn't worked out.
19.
Can he see enough of it? He could.
20.
Maybe a little cannon to those two reds above the black.
$27. 28. $35.
Still O'Sullivan
36.
at an outstanding 95%. Murphy only just a shade behind. Those stats are also excellent.
Well, everybody's going to be in for a treat this evening, whether it's 5-3 or 4 each. These two are playing some superb stuff. And the safety's excellent. Breaks are brilliant. And the commitment's there from both. He's overdone it. But he's okay, he's on the red to the left corner.
38.
2 hours of playing time for very nearly 4 completed frames is very good going in a final with so much at stake. Ronnie O'Sullivan is going to pass the £500,000 barrier for prize money on the table if he wins tonight. Still half the season to come, and more.
39.
Does the blue go?
$44.
Red colour red.
$45.
Just over-screwed it a little.
52.
49 ahead, so he needs a colour with this red. And he hasn't got it.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 52.
The lead is 49, but there's still 59 there.
Yes, he had such an easy black, but he over-screwed it for that red to the middle.
What a frame this would be for Shaun Murphy to steal. Not this time, though, from long range.
Kiss has given Shaun Murphy a great chance. Doesn't want the kiss. What? He didn't want that kiss. He wanted to finish high on the blue. It's a good attempt. It's a cracking attempt. And I think he's on the red. And can get to the blue.
That's one of the shots of the final so far. Could not have hit that any better.
Well, he's gone favourite, Shaun Murphy.
A test of nerve as much as skill now for Murphy. He's cleared up from this kind of scenario thousands of times before in matches on the practice table, but not under this kind of pressure. The opportunity to share the session with O'Sullivan. Well, he's had a few chances in this frame that have gone begging.
I may have to play up for the blue again.
13.
Doesn't want to be straight on the red. 31 points, the difference.
18.
So any of these big colours down this end of the table is okay.
19.
Wrong side of the pink. But he's got the angle to go up the table. And to hit it. Gonna need the rest.
25.
Mr. Reliable with the rest.
27.
Great rest player, even when he's under extreme pressure, like that last shot was.
30.
Only the black, not on its spot.
34.
And, well, I'm not sure if he can hold for the pink. Which means he has to come off the cushion. Anything
39.
but straight, and I think that's absolutely perfect to drop him behind the black. Doesn't want to be on the cushion.
45.
That's as bad as it could be. It couldn't have been any worse, and he gets a little smile from O'Sullivan because he knows that this is missable.
Huge pressure on this. What an important black. He's got it. He's got it. And what a final we have on our hands now. It's been utterly compelling from the first ball to the last in this opening session, and it is set up perfectly. We're no nearer to knowing who's going to be crowned UK champion, but what a finale we have in store. Ronnie O'Sullivan 4, Shaun Murphy 4. They both need 6 to be crowned champion.
So here we go, 4 frames until the mid-session, a maximum of 11 frames until either Ronnie O'Sullivan or Shaun Murphy lift that trophy aloft. The crowd are already pinning their colours to the mast, shouting out for both players. It's a special night in the snooker calendar with a real edge. We will see you in 4 frames, my friends, and taking you there, it's Mike Hallett and Dave Hendon.
This is one of the great occasions on the snooker calendar, the final
frame.
session of the final
Ronnie
of the
O'Sullivan
UK
to
Championship, and appropriately enough considering the weather outside. We've already had a blizzard of breaks, a century apiece. Murphy's had another 2 half centuries, O'Sullivan 3. It's been a couple of close frames as well. It's been excellent already, and as they restart at 4-4, it's guaranteed to be a very exciting evening. It's not been a slow match by any means. Average frame time just under 16 minutes. Murphy won the last 2 frames. There's the pot success, nothing to be chosen there either. Dead level on 94% each. Not a great break-off shot this, though, from O'Sullivan.
Well, strap yourselves in and enjoy, because I think this is going to be a treat. Well, he chose to take it to the corner. It's finished okay. They played some stuff this afternoon. It was really high quality.
Well, appropriately, it's basically now best of 11. First to 10 to win the £170,000 first prize. It will either be Shaun Murphy for the second time as UK champion, or Ronnie O'Sullivan for a record equalling 6th. Well, there are the balls. He's been potting all week. Fantastic.
Unbelievable. We don't go behind the green.
1.
Oh. Well, don't tell me it's gone behind the green. I mean, look at this whip pot. Yeah, he did it against Mark King in the semi-finals and again this afternoon, but that might just, well, it's hidden itself. That was unlucky.
Shaun Murphy 1.
Of course, would have definitely been more if it had been on that yellow. Well, he's left a red to the centre, but
Touching ball.
the black is blocked to the left corner. So with it being touching ball, I think Shaun will play a safety here. There's no percentage really in taking the pot on.
There's no doubt the dynamic between these two has changed. O'Sullivan had the beating of Murphy, beat him 3 times in a row in the World Championship until just last month, Champion of Champions, the final where Murphy won 10-8. I'm sure that match is fresh in both their memories.
Yeah, it might be more so in Ronnie's actually this evening. Look at that again. Time and time they've got that cue ball to that back cushion. We saw the stats there, 94% pot success, but the safety stat was incredible. 87% each. Oh, well. Calls it far too thick. I think he was having a go at that one as well.
One.
Well, Shaun kicked off the first century the first session, I should say, for the century this afternoon. 1, 2, 3. I wonder.
6. Seven.
Well, one of the high value colours would be handy here, actually. I think the pink spot is covered, so you can get the pink onto the black spot. That would help. $1,200 people in here in this Barbican Centre in York. These are always great occasions, David, aren't they? Especially when you've got 2 players like this in the final.
Absolutely. We had a lot of shocks and surprises throughout this tournament, but we've ended up with 2 of the game's real stars battling it out this evening for the title.
Yes, expect this to be punch and counter punch between these two, and that helps now. The pink on the black spot. You can get into the bunch after this one.
20.
No, that's clever. Could have gone in with more pace, but played the gentle cannon instead. Just a couple more out as well at the same time.
27.
And they are both cueing so well. Still would do the pink on the black spot, but our referee Paul Collier, as we watch the replay, he's just going to check the spot.
33.
As we were.
Yes, Paul is completing his own Triple Crown, actually, the referee, having refereed the World Final and the Masters Final. This he's now doing the UK.
$34.
That's where he needs to get to, 66 at the moment, to leave Murphy needing snookers.
That's okay. He's got the red to the left middle, and he can hold for the pink.
40. Touching ball.
He's got them there now. Well, the frustration for Shaun is when he potted that great red and snookered himself behind the green. He could have been on the yellow there. These might have been his, but he went for another one.
47.
Missed it by a mile, really. And it looks like it's cost him the frame. And Ronnie so far has worked these beautifully.
48. $54.
Were we to get 3 centuries tonight, we would have had
55.
100 in the tournament, which is quite remarkable, really. Had 2 this afternoon, 1 apiece. Well, this was how he got
61.
in. I'm sure as Murphy walked away, he was fearing the worst, because it's been that sort of match.
62.
So snooker's required, but I don't think he'll be getting back to the table.
Yes, and a donation to the Jessie May Children's Hospice,
68.
courtesy of our sponsors Betway. He's up to £16,570.
69.
That's fantastic.
$75.
Yeah, you knew he'd missed that. You could hear him sighing as he struck it.
75.
But a crisp 75 to start the evening. A big roar from the Ronnie O'Sullivan fans inside the Barbican. He leads the final 5 frames to 4.
Frame 10. Shaun Murphy to break.
So Shaun Murphy to get frame 10 of a possible 19 underway. He trailed 4-2, won the last 2 frames this afternoon, but O'Sullivan has made 75 in the first of the evening.
Nice nudge off the ground, but it was going there anyway. They played some unbelievable stuff this afternoon. Like I said before, 87% each on the... That's the pot success. Look at that. Ronnie's gone up to 95. Shaun's just come down one place. Well, 1 percentage. That was that red that he missed to the left corner. It allowed Ronnie in. Well, now that it's found that gap, look where it's finished. This table is playing beautifully. I mean, when they've redone it, recovered it for the semi-finals and the final, it's really picked up. And it's of great pace. And that's how these boys like it. So they can just stroke the balls around the table. That one's a bit pacey, though. He just nudged the yellow, but it's come out. And there's no doubt Shaun will be taking this one on the left-hand side. Not backed away from any of these, and most of them have gone in. He came right across that. Look where the white's finished. Played on the black there. Well, he's missed that by about 3 inches. That red wasn't down the table, he'd be probably taking them one to the middle. Oh, that kicked. It's okay. You got the sandwiches in, David. Could be a long night.
Well, it could be a very enjoyable night.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks good. Well, there might just be a gap there for Ronnie. That's incredible. If that's 2 inches to the left, it was perfect. Shaun would have covered everything. Look at that. Amazing. Got him wrong-sided here. No obvious route back to the ball carrier. Shaun might be forced into a pot. Oh. Well, he was. What a terrific red that is. Unbelievable. Unlucky not to land on the collar. Well, he's just going for everything. That's obviously his plan. It's been working so far. Overdone it. He's hit it too well. Played on the 2 reds right to the black spot.
4.
Have to look for a safety now. Just look at the action he got on the cue ball there. Amazing. Well, that's not too clever. He's left this this red. Okay, he's got the cue ball near to the back cushion, but the way these boys have been playing, he's left Ronnie this red near the pink spot, and it's a shot to nothing. Don't be surprised if this goes in. It's always nice to knock these in, because then you take control of the table. Oh. Well, it was just expected, but for me, the safety was poor from Shaun to leave that one. Can't leave those on, not the way these 2 boys are playing.
Ronnie O'Sullivan 1.
Well, you'd like to get to these reds on the top cushion. But you'd have to play off the first right-hand cushion, very narrow, with a lot of right-hand side, and just about miss the blue. That's it. Looks pretty good to me. Oh, it's just a little bit narrow. That just shows you how close
Foul and the miss.
he has to get to the
Ronnie
blue.
O'Sullivan 4.
Well, he might have left Ronnie a red here. If not, it's probably going back. Yep, he has left a red. Well, here we go again. 75 in the opening frame of this evening session. Plenty of reds on here.
It's a great story from 1986. Ronnie O'Sullivan and his dad went to a Chinese restaurant, and the waiter told them there was a snooker player there called Dave Stevens. At the time, I think Ronnie's dad thought he must have been Kirk Stevens, the Canadian. It's actually Steve Davis. And being a big fan, they went over, had a picture taken, and Ronnie's dad said to Steve, one day my boy here will be world champion. Well, you can imagine the number of times Steve must have heard that. Anyway, he posed for the picture, signed the autograph. Fast forward, he's a 5 times world champion, and if he wins tonight, he will equal Steve Davis's record of 6 UK titles.
Yeah. Amazing story.
5.
Fair to say the waiter wasn't a snooker fan, by the sounds of things. Dave Stevens. Neither one thing nor the other, really.
I was doing the circuit, the Butlin circuit, a few summers ago, Dave, and I was going to do the exhibition in the evening. And this young lad was on the table, and I said, "You shouldn't be on this table, young man. It's been cleaned for the exhibition." So he said to me, "Are you that Mike? Are you Mike Hamlet?" Brilliant.
10.
Major put down from a 7-year-old. Just got into the white a little bit more. Well, too much there, really. And these boys, they say that they're queuing so well, and this table is very responsive. Good pot from there. But the problem was, because he was near to the side cushion, he couldn't do a lot with the cue ball. But he still got one
15.
on. He can get back for the blue. Tremendous. A touch of side
16.
on the cue ball as well, just to take it towards the middle pocket. I mean, that shot there shows you how good that is. That's a great camera angle. Ooh, ooh. Wasn't clean. Just have a look at this. Of course, it was
21.
downward striking. As soon as you start raising the butt of the cue, you can get problems. Well, that sorted that lot out. he's on the pink or the blue. Well, he can start on these down here now. Hold for the pink.
27.
Some stage, try and get the black on its spot. Ooh. Well, I think he was trying to screw back into the other edge to stay on the pink. And he just came across the line of the shot.
Well, he worked hard for those. But he's back in his chair.
Slightly under hit, but it's not a real problem with the red over the corner pocket. That's clever. Putting the blue onto the black spot. Clever thinking, that.
6. 7.
It just shows you what great snooker brains these players have got, David, hasn't it? Because he thought it out to put the blue onto the black spot. Much easier to get on a colour from there. Great thinking.
Yes, it just shows you, and it applies to O'Sullivan as well, how they can shut out the occasion, the big crowd, what it all means. The trophy's just on the side, just in view, but just focusing on the 12 by 6.
12.
Wants to try and hold the white high here, yeah. Otherwise
13.
he would have been at the wrong angle. Well, it's 15 points behind. I know the table is a little bit untidy, but for me, Shaun has just gone favourite in this one. Just tickle the red.
20. $21.
Good cannon again. Don't think he can hold
28.
for the black here, unless he plays the one near the cushion. Might just go down onto the blue for one, but he's gradually getting them open. This is a real chance now to make it 5 apiece. Oh, well, again,
29.
queuing well, and the table is responsive. He needs to get to 60 points.
He was going well. This is where the break ended. He was only 27. He'd worked hard just to get that far.
Well, I mentioned about probably coming back onto a red for the pink, but I think Ronnie was trying to squeeze the red a little bit and trying to come through the gap for the black. And that's why he went across the line of the shot.
36. $37.
Probably play on the one on the right cushion here, get rid of that one, and of course the one behind the black spot, you just drop it in for the black. And again, he's able to hold. These are always a little bit tricky though.
44.
Just a little bit more care needed. Well, there's nothing
45.
safe here, and he already leads by 17. So black-red colour will be enough. This is what it's all about on a Sunday night and a major final. Two guys playing at the top of their
52.
games, having a pop at each other. Still needs the black though. Just checking to see if the yellow passes the pink. Well, these could have been his. It didn't go in the middle of the pocket, but it went in and is nice on the yellow. It's going to be 5 apiece. Well, this could be like this all the way through the evening.
62. $65.
Ronnie kicked off with a 75 in the Open this evening. Possible 87.
69.
For Shaun here. Might not even bother with the black, actually. If it had been for a century, he would have done.
74.
So that misread by Ronnie into the corner has cost him dear.
$80. 80 in the
Not
frame,
even
Shaun
bothered about
Murphy.
black. He did what he had to do. Murphy punished the error. It's been that sort of match. An 80 to the pink, and Shaun Murphy levels the final at 5 frames all. Let me take you back to the 28th of November 1993, 24 years ago. John Major was Prime Minister. Bill Clinton was in the White House.
Thank you, the 11th frame. Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
Meatloaf was #1 with I Do Anything for Love. Twitter back then was just what the birds did. And Ronnie O'Sullivan won the UK Championship at the age of 17. Here we are, 24 years on. He's looking to win it for a 6th time. Nobody's enjoyed this sort of longevity at the top of the game. Remember, he's already won 2 ranking titles this season. And you can argue about whether his game is as good as it was or not. Some would say it's better, some would say it was better 10, 15 years ago. No doubt his application and his attitude is the best it's ever been. We saw Dr. Steve Peters here earlier. He's clearly helped enormously. And I just think O'Sullivan is prepared to graft for results like never before. He's not always looking to play his best game. When it comes, he's unbeatable. But if he's not there, he will dig deep.
Well, imagine if Dr. Steve Peters had been around 10 years ago. Imagine what Ronnie would have won. Or could have won. But all those targets are now in his sights. Refused the pot. Just look at that. Tremendous.
Safety excellent on both sides, but look at that from O'Sullivan, 90%.
Yeah, that's gone up 3% since just coming in this evening.
And that's what I was saying, it's the application, it's the willingness to play that game when he has to. He knows what a great long potter, he's seen what a great long potter in this match that Shaun Murphy is. It's interesting, before the Champion of Champions final, he said in the TV interview, O'Sullivan, he didn't consider Murphy a rival. He said he considered Mark Selby and John Higgins rivals. Well, having lost to him, I think he may have changed his mind.
I'm sure he has. Got total respect for him now. Ooh. We were talking about the safety and everything like that, but Shaun's thrown a poor one in. Bang in the middle. Well, they're both cueing so well. Not sure that he's landed on the left-hand one here. That would be better. He is. He's on it. It's perfect. Just run through for the black.
5.
And now he can start to do the business around the black spot.
Twelve. 13.
started the season, O'Sullivan, a little later than some of the other top players, but he's already made 40 centuries.
20.
Bearing in mind he made 50 the whole of last season. It's incredible number, more than anyone else.
21.
It's good safety, forced the opening here. Got a few more reds open here as well.
Yeah, the nearest to him so far on the centuries list is this season is Judd Trump with 33.
29.
Well, there's every chance this could be another one, as he starts the road towards 1,000 for his career. It's on 914. It's incredible. He's incredible, let's be honest.
36.
So many times during the career where they've been threats to retire, walk away. He did at one stage take a season out, came back, won the World Championship. I wonder if the sports personality panel are watching this, because they didn't put him on again. Never have.
$44. 45.
Oh, this was the green when he landed perfectly on that left-hand red. I thought he wasn't on it actually, but it's made all the difference now.
52. 53. 60.
I wonder if he's got that picture with him, and Steve Davis.
61.
Dave, he's had it with him this weekend. They've probably kept it in the hotel and on the wall or something like that, you know. Just to remind him.
Yeah, remind Steve, maybe.
Yeah, probably. more so.
Because Steve had a lot of his records overtaken by Stephen Hendry, but this man
68.
beginning to take them from both of them. Looks like he's won this frame. Look at that, great time, just 4.5 minutes. Played a good safety, forced the mistake from Murphy, and now he's punished in ruthless fashion.
76.
Again.
77. 84. 85.
Well, just the red on this high cushion, but we know how he plays left-handed as well, so he gets in behind that one.
91. 92.
Pink, red, blue, drop in behind the final red. Might even just come back on the pink
98.
couple of inches, actually. I think he's going through for the blue.
99.
Overdone that slightly. Wanted to be just off straight. He's got to punch this blue in now. On for the cannon.
Well, it's his second century of the final.
104.
The third in total in this match.
Yeah, didn't quite manage the cannon.
But he made the century. Terrific break, just one chance is all he needed. Forced the error from Murphy, punished the mistake, and he's back in front here in York, leading 6 frames to 5. Well, pretty electrifying start to this session. We've only been going about 40 minutes, and already O'Sullivan has edged 6-5 in front. Remember, it's 4-4 when they resumed. So one more frame to come then before the last interval of the championship. Can Murphy level up again?
Frame 12. Shaun Murphy to break.
40th anniversary year of this great tournament. He's producing a great spectacle. Remember, they both could have been out. Shaun Murphy was nearly put out by Liam Highfield. Ronnie O'Sullivan had that incredible match in the last 16 with the Thai Akani Songsum Sawat, better known as Sonny. Well, he took this on, but it's okay. It hasn't, he hasn't left it, and the cue ball's just run a little awkward next to the green. There's the safety stats. Sorry, there's the pot stats, I should say. Sullivan at 95%. Murphy at 94%. It's literally coming down to the odd mistake, that's all. Long pot in, 80% O'Sullivan, 91 on the safety. I mean, Murphy's are all good as well, but O'Sullivan just edging it at the moment in all the categories.
I'll tell you what, you take that all day long and every week.
Well, it's an attacking safety, opening the reds. Just caught the brown. He could have done without that. He could have done with that white just going through to the cushion. Because as you can see, it allows Murphy just to get his hand on the table. And knock the red in. What a pot. Hang on. Oh, dear.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 4.
Well, as usual, he struck that beautifully, but just look at the action he's got on the white here. Incredible. I don't think there's any real damage done here, actually, because Ronnie won't be going for one here. Just playing the safety. And again, I mean, just look at that. Unbelievable. It's like they've got magnets. This table is playing absolutely beautiful. I didn't think that was going to go beyond the D area, but it kept going and got to the back cushion. That's just wonderful touch from these boys. It really is. Well, that's a possible, but I think he might catch the second red, actually, the right-hand red. He's got to, well, he's got to pot it, of course, otherwise he'll be clattering into other things. Well, I tell you what, he's had a result, finding the cue ball, landing there. Oh, I mean, the red is on there, the pink, but it's tough. What a result that is. Mind you, it was a good pot before and screwing it off. So it might have just balanced itself out a little bit. Well, there's a shot that Shaun can play here. If he plays full into the first red, he'll push one down the end of the table, this end, and the other one will come off with the red off the back cushion, and possibly also come down at this end. Just leave the white near the back cushion. I wonder if he's thought of that. Yeah, I think he might, you know. One that's definitely going to come down this end. It's just a question of bouncing the other one off the back cushion. Well, caught the brown, that was always the problem, but Ronnie could play him behind the yellow here, but he takes the risk of leaving the red on the right-hand side, so he might just play the safety and leave the cue ball near the green pocket. Well, that's brought the black into play. But has he left the red? Ooh, dear me. I don't think Shaun can get that unless he plays with a little bit of swerve, and just look where the cue ball is. He could play the other one off it. Well, it's middle ball striking, so he must be able to get through there. I think that's tight. If he plays that just plain ball striking, yeah, he's going to have to swerve it. Well, if that's an inch to the right, the red was on. Just dropping on it here. Has he got there? I don't think he's hit that hard enough.
Foul. I'm going to miss. Ronnie O'Sullivan 4.
Well,
Back.
it's going back, but it could have been worse because that might have dropped and then Ronnie would have had the red on. So look at this. Has that moved a little bit to the left, his right? Possibly. I think he'll play the same shot again here, but he's got to get so close to the red near the cushion to possibly hit the other red.
No. Yeah, Ronnie? Thanks.
Ronnie just staying in his chair, allowing the referee to do his job. Well, there's the still frame. That's where we are. Well, it should be slightly more to the right. He's playing it direct. Just in the table. Ooh, the dreaded double kiss. Well, he was in a lot of trouble there.
One.
Oh, this will just clear the pink spot a little bit more. Great chance to make it 7-5 at the interval.
8. $14. 15.
Got a little bit of a kick there. Took the pace out of the white. He's
21.
have to hold for the middle now.
22.
Well, this has been an unbelievable standard all day. They both want it badly. He's never done that one slightly.
28.
Look at this. I think he's played on the one that's just above the black spot. Well played.
29.
Well, he's played on the blue to the middle, but he's got it to the corner. Just drop in behind this right-hand red. Just this is not straightforward. He's going to have to just take a little bit of time and work things out. Doesn't want to put the black on its spot because it with the reds there, you can concentrate on the blue and the pink for the time being. Well, they're both queuing well, David, but you just fancy this to be another winning contribution.
Well, it could
34.
be. He's in with a good shout and just made a century last frame. But these matches can turn on one shot, one miss, one bit of bad luck, one slightly
35.
overdone positional shot. Really got into the white here.
Yeah, I don't know where they've got this this cloth from. It's really gripping. It's beautiful.
So left-handed on the blue.
I think there's a... Oh, I thought the other two rows were a possible plant.
40.
He's just on this one. Yeah, the black no good on his spot. It'll be too crowded, so he wants to move the reds first.
$47. $48.
He leads 6-5. Making a move here.
Yeah, he was involved in a great final last year with Mark Selby. But Selby won 10-7. Mark put a picture up. Well, he was obviously snowed in Leicester. He made a snowman in the year back on with his daughter. Of course, he was knocked out second round by Scott Donaldson. But no sign
55.
of any fall here in O'Sullivan's scoring game. He's just relentless at the moment.
Under hit that one. There's a possible plant on here. Just checking the
61.
scoreboard. 69 ahead. He's already in the position where Shaun needs snookers. That's why he's able to play the plant. Pot success 95 is against 93. That is incredible, really, for two great stars like this. And always very capable of producing this sort of stuff. And it's continuing.
Murphy's not done a lot wrong this evening, but he's lost 3 of the 4 frames played. So O'Sullivan has just made a little move since they resumed
69.
level.
Yeah. Play on the blue here. Oh, or the pink. I thought he'd play on the blue and then play the cannon into red and brown, but well, he doesn't want this straight. I think he's got a slight angle. Well, he's got to power that over. Oh, how well did he hit that?
76.
The break ends at 76.
Ronnie O'Sullivan,
But
76.
it's another winning contribution. So Ronnie O'Sullivan has won the little mini session 3-1, and he's 3 frames away from winning a record-equaling 6th UK Championship title. At the final interval, he leads Shaun Murphy by 7 frames to 5.
No more predictions then, guys. No more what-ifs, no more buts, no more maybes. Just one question. Who will be the 2017 UK champion? With the answer, Dave Hendon and Mike Hallett.
No more intervals. It's now the fight to the finish. Ronnie O'Sullivan has a 2-frame lead as the players return. 7-5. He needs 3 more to become champion again. He's been completely focused throughout this championship. He needs to put together 3 more good frames to get his hands on the trophy.
Well, that's a loose one. I think he's covered it there with the green. Just coming up to 3 hours match time. And yeah, he's been very lucky there. Shaun still has this red on the right-hand side, though. And again, don't be surprised if this goes in, although they had a 15-minute break. Did it matter? Not one jot. Oh. Well, that's probably the worst break-off shot that Ronnie's done all day. Still a great pot. The standard today in this file has been unbelievable. It's, well, it's been in the stratosphere. Got a slight angle on this red, but the pink goes. No, just 2 quick frames, big breaks. It's game on again. This might have to go behind the pack, which will take a couple of minutes. Might go on, actually. No.
Delicate little operation for Paul Collier. Still is.
They do a fantastic job, David, don't they? I mean, unsung heroes. We've got a lot more referees, lady referees, of course, as well as gents on the circuit, because there's so many more tournaments, and we need them, you know. And unsung heroes, I mean, they have to keep order. They stand out there for hours upon hours, and they're a fantastic bunch of people.
11.
Into the pink here, just screw back off the pink into the other red for the red to the left corner. Oh, he's gone behind it. That's gone wrong. I thought he would have gone in a bit deeper with a bit more backspin. That's gone wrong.
18.
Frustrating for Murphy after the good long red. Looking to lay down a marker immediately after the interval, as he did in the very first frame of the match when he made a century.
Well, for me, he had to play that with a lot more backspin to push the pink and then come on to the red.
Shaun Murphy, 18.
Yeah, the pink stuck. You had to move it out of the way. That is, but I think Shaun can just get to the edge of this pack. An inch to the right, it was full ball. Well, he can get the other one anyway, but at least he could see one. That's a great return. Just look at that. I mean, how on earth has that got to that cushion? This table is unbelievably fast. And yet they're finding that back cushion time and time again. Here we go. Yeah, I just thought he would have punched that in with a little bit more, actually. Caught the blue. Well, he's blocked one red, but I think the one that's furthest away from us goes. That's careless, and it might be costly. Wow. Unexpected.
He's made very few errors tonight, O'Sullivan, but this potentially could be significant. This misread. I think everyone fancied him for it. Well, that was always heading to the jaw.
Yeah, but, I mean, Shaun does this sometimes, you know. Why didn't he just stun that in? He could have easily held on the pink. He just does it now and again. He throws them in. Just trying to be a bit cute. I'm not having a go, but he's just trying to be a bit cute. I think the pink went. Why don't he just play the stun shot?
Well, it's a massive mistake, because it's come from an O'Sullivan miss, and there haven't been many of those today.
Both the pink and the black go. I think this is probably where Shaun wanted to be, but if he was trying to get on the black, he could have just punched it off the cushion. And now, of course, it depends on really how many Ronnie makes from here.
Ace.
Be best pleased with that. Could have played that a little bit better. I think he tended to screw off the duet off the cushion and come straight into the middle of the table. Didn't quite get into the white, but we won't be missing this. Still 3 open reds here that he can play on.
9.
He's got the one on the pink spot to the left. Well, as the boys in the studio were saying, this could be a massive... Well, it is a massive frame. Not could be. It is.
$13. 14.
Still got one loose red here after this one,
21.
but he might just go into them. And Ronnie's not been going in full-blooded with the pack. He's been choosing on which reds to hit and going in sort of gently, in medium pace, just nudging them out. It's like old school, that. You see a Judd Trump or something like that, he wants to scatter them. So it'll be interesting to see how he plays this. But he's gone a bit straight here, so he's going to have to play on the single red. Could punch through for the middle. Chose to play for the corner. Again, needs to get a good angle on the black.
29.
There's the target, 70 points. 4-8-5 lead.
30.
Again, I don't think he'll go in full-blooded. This will be what we call a gentle cannon, medium pace. Just if he gets the right contact. This table is so fast, and the balls would just split. That's okay. He's got one to the centre.
37.
Just saw the backspin grip again there, and it nudged that one out of the way. Well, once more, great cueing. Little cannon into the left on one of the two would be perfect. We'll open them up. Oh, he's got them. He's got them again. This is looking like 8-5.
45.
Well, it's worrying times for Murphy. It's not just about who wins the frames, it's how they win them. Ronnie O'Sullivan missed, and immediately Shaun Murphy missed to let him back in. That red to this left corner.
And again, we know, David, with these cloths, they're so fine, aren't they, that you put a tracer side on the ball, playing a slow drag shot, it could just move it. They're slippery. They're like ice. That's why I thought Shaun would have just punched that red in. Well, and the rest is history, as we say. Might cost him dear. Still at 95%. Shaun still at 93. They started at both started at 94 this evening.
$49. $50.
Let's just finish a little bit in between.
54.
I don't know if the back one goes. I might play the right on one, of course. Yeah, another break over 50. The standard today has been incredible.
Going to need another red here.
Yes, and the pink is blocking one to the corner. It's just checking these two reds to the middle as a plant. That looks on. Anywhere down this end near the pink for the cue ball. Perfect. You can stun down for the black or the pink. This is 8-5.
58.
Just a quick look there. These two reds look dead set to the middle. Yep.
Well, he didn't take advantage of his first good chance, but Shaun Murphy's miss, immediate miss, has given him this one. He's taken it so well. This is frame ball. And suddenly, the task for Murphy has become much bigger than it was earlier on in the day. He was 4-2 down, of course, won the last two frames of the afternoon. But now, this man is moving closer and closer towards that trophy.
Yep, he's turning the screw. I think what he's done over the last few weeks, Dave, isn't it? You know, he won in Barnsley, first leg of the Home Nations. He won in Shanghai. And now it looks like he's taken his 6th UK title.
$70.
Sorry.
Could make another century. There's enough on.
$71.
He's only ever once won 3 ranking titles in the same season. That was back in 04-05, although there were much fewer events then. This is the 11th ranking event of this season. With plenty more to come. You just wonder if he can continue this form. And, of course, most importantly, this application, this attitude, just how many titles he can win this season.
Well, that'd be 390,000 if he wins this evening in 6 weeks.
78.
And 170 here this evening would have put him past the £500,000 mark, which Neil alluded to in the studio. I'll tell you what, 932 and Mark Sobeys last year. I wonder, can he go beyond the million? We've been saying it for about 18 months now with the amount that's on offer, that there's a possibility that a player can go beyond the million in one season.
Well, that can look after itself. Important thing here, he's putting this frame on the board. Shaun Murphy knows these could have been his. Maybe they should have been at this stage of the final. But that miss
96.
let Ronnie O'Sullivan in to compile another superb break. His third century of the final. 103. He's going to take some stopping now in this sort of form. Shaun Murphy had just got to cut out all mistakes if he's going to turn this round, because Ronnie O'Sullivan leads 8-5. Well, cometh the hour, cometh the genius. Ronnie O'Sullivan, a third century, 8-5. He needs 2 more. The next one really is big. Shaun Murphy's got to try and keep O'Sullivan on 8, try and put pressure on, and as I say, try and cut out any mistakes at all. He made one in that last frame, that missed red to the left corner, and it cost him dearly.
Yeah, and that was Ronnie's 10th century in this
Shaun
year's
Murphy to break.
UK Championship. And it's century number 99 as well. Are we going to get 100? Very possible, the way this is going.
First UK Championship, 1977. Far fewer matches, of course. There weren't 128 professionals, but in that whole tournament, there was 1 century break. It was made by Alex Higgins.
This looks good if it keeps going. Ooh, nearly in behind the yellow. Well, we know it's coming here, because Shaun will be taking this on. As David has just mentioned, there's no room to manoeuvre now. Oh, he's played like this all week. He's not going to change now. Unbelievable. Great stuff from these two boys. This is one of the best finals I've ever seen. Amazing. And I'll tell you what, we've seen some down the years as well. That needs to slow down. I've seen some great finals down the years, but this is up there.
8.
Yes, this UK Championship getting a 40th birthday party to remember, thanks to these two. Shaun Murphy's potted so many great long balls. He really has. But he's got to now try and press on and make the sort of breaks O'Sullivan's been making this evening. He had an 80 in the second frame of the night, Murphy, the one he won.
There we go. 2 reds, 2 black. That's the only thing that's missing, actually, in this championship and this final is a maximum. £20,000 available if the player gets one. It's worth £15,000 plus 5 for the high break. I wonder. That would be unbelievable. Oh, look at the stuff he's got on that.
24.
It's like they've got this white on it with a remote control. Wonderful.
25.
Priority here for Shaun is to win the frame, of course, but then he gets to, what, 80 points, something like that. And then he'll be thinking about it. Probably a little bit earlier than that, but got to get the frame first.
$32.
Might play on the one to the middle, actually. Just leave a slight angle to get onto the black. You'll block the other one. Oh, that's okay. This one goes. Needs this to be straight. Doesn't want to be going into the pack.
40.
5 reds, 5 black so far. Oh, that's perfect.
41.
Well, he'll be going for the split here. It's all about the split. Lots of topspin. That's unlucky. That really is unlucky, because I don't think this red squeezes past the other one to the middle.
48.
That could be end of break. He's checking it from both sides. I tell you what, that might go. The only danger here is if he catches the near knuckle, he's bound to leave Ronnie the other red. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. There was no room there. Oh. He's missed it. He's overcut it.
Shaun Murphy, 49.
No maximum. Now, what about the frame? More importantly, he's left a red to the middle.
It was a great red to the middle as well, to squeeze past the other one. That was a pity. I was about to see another piece of history made there, but... Well, of course, the big question is, can Ronnie punish?
Eight. 9.
Well, 3 centuries and 5 half centuries from O'Sullivan in the 8 frames he's won.
16.
Suggest he can.
Clever.
17.
Using the reds to turn the black and open the others up. He's had that cue ball dancing around this table today. He had it under full control.
24. $25. 31. 32.
Might play the pink here. No, look at this. We'll need that red near the side cushion.
39.
'Nudge it into a better position. The frame is on now. That's lovely. Really, really cute. And he actually hit it perfectly, because if he hits it full ball, the cue ball would have landed the wrong side of the blue. But look at this, a glancing blow. Absolutely perfect.
45.
Well, should be 9-5.
46.
Up to 96%. What's he going to finish at? He finished the match once at 97. I'll tell you what, I mean, Shaun hasn't played. Shaun's playing great, Dave, as well, but there's just the odd mistake here and there that's costing him. Just at this level, just too many.
54.
Well, it was a misread in the last frame. In this frame, it was a black with the rest. But as you say, at this standard, that's enough. In earlier rounds, might not have been, but this is the final against the best player
59.
ever.
Yeah. I'd have got away with it earlier rounds, but not in the final. Not when the guy's playing like this. This
61.
is unbelievable stuff from the Rocket here. He's definitely left the launch pad, that is for sure. Did that a few frames ago.
This brown
64.
should be 9-5. He's made his move tonight in fine style.
Score. 73.
Again, it only took just one error. And he's pounced again.
79.
Closing in on the title, an 86 clearance from Ronnie O'Sullivan. He's playing some formidable snooker in York this evening, and he leads 9-5. Just watching Shaun Murphy between frames there, he sort of puffed out his cheeks as if to say, well, what are you supposed to do? You know, it's just the odd error from him. It's not a bad performance from him, it's just the odd mistake. And it's costing him frames. That last one was an 86 clearance. You can see the trophy there, tantalisingly placed. Now within the grasp of Ronnie O'Sullivan. Just one more frame, and he'll be champion for a 6th time. It was 9-5 in the Champion of Champions final to Shaun Murphy, and on that occasion it was O'Sullivan who hit the comeback trail. Could have made it 9 each, Mr. Green. Frame 18, Murphy won 10-8. Can Murphy, a supremely confident and gifted potter, come out and make this closer? Ronnie O'Sullivan is determined to shut the door on him.
Thank you, frame 15. Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
You just wonder, don't you, just how long he can go on for. I mean, there's no sign of any decline at all, if anything, the opposite.
Yeah, it's got better and better the last couple of years. 42 years of age, not this man. Ronnie we'll talk about, of course, but you know, keeps himself very fit. I mean, if he plays for another, what, 3 seasons, Dave, he's going to break all the records. You know, it's the only one that probably might be in question is the 7 of Stephen Hazy world records. But, you know, he'll be looking for number 6 this year, playing like this. And they're all in his range now, aren't they? They're all there to be taken. Probably wouldn't have even looked at that 2 or 3 seasons ago.
All of those stats that have just appeared are just all excellent in any match, but for a UK final, sensational, really.
The back page.
All right, thank you.
Well, a couple of audience members perhaps a little too full of festive cheer.
In high spirits. It's all going now. All going for him. I mean, to land on the pink there is incredible, really. That's what happens, though, when you're playing well, when you're putting frames on the board. That could have landed anywhere. In fact, he could have snookered himself. Oh. Could be the chance to win the title.
Well, it will be just like him to win this title with the tournament's 100th century break. Bring the house down one last time. He hopes not. He hopes something's going to go wrong. But not much has tonight for Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Yeah, he's been sublime. He really has.
Eight.
Nicely on the black, little cannon into the middle red of the three. This has been an unbelievable treat this evening here for this crowd. 1,200 people in the Barbican, New York.
15.
They'll certainly go in this evening remembering this one. Problem he's got here, he might just play the cannon here and push the black over to the right. Didn't like it. Both ways, he's slightly going into the black. I think he just about missed the black. He was going to come around the back of it, actually. He's got to be careful he doesn't clip it on the way through. Ah, he's played the cannon. That will do nicely. Well played. I didn't think he could play that. I thought there was too much angle. Again, this cloth is so responsive. Superb.
23. 24. 31.
72 he needs. He's got 31 of them. 72 points
32.
for the title. His 6th UK title to equal Steve Davis's. Incredible. Any chance of cloning Ronnie, Judd Trump, Sonny Akani for the next few years? Certainly broke the mould of this guy. Cannon into them, is it? Gentle cannon? No, gentle stun shot for position. He's just going to pick these off. There's no point in taking any risks at this stage.
43.
Got one hand on the trophy.
44.
And the stuff he's been playing over the last few weeks has been incredible. Ireland was a blip, but didn't matter. He's come here determined. He knows he was in great form. Look at that. Just about double the points that Shaun's made. Well, that's about 40%, isn't it? 40% less for Shaun, I should say.
52.
No, he needs to have some sort of cannon here. This could go wrong, but if he opens them up, it's frame and match. Ah.
Well,
there's almost bewilderment in the audience at that. I think everyone was just expecting it to be plain sailing.
Might just push this to the top cushion. gone the other way with the cue ball, that's fair enough.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 59.
For 59, there could have been a lot more, and it could have been match over.
He's made his 7th half-century to go with his 3 centuries, but not quite there yet.
Don't tell me these 2 reds are lined up to the yellow pocket, because if they are, that's a big mistake from Shaun. And Ronnie has the 1 to the green pocket as well. You wouldn't have played it that way if those 2 reds were plant. He's taking this one on that. If it goes in, it could be all over. It's not far away. Oh, absolutely bang in the middle. Never touch the sides. I mean, this is a wonderful feeling for a snooker player, not for that man, but when you're knocking them in like that, it's just a great feeling when they're going in the middle of the pocket.
He needs 1 more red, and Shaun Murphy needs snookers.
8.
We're watching here one of the greatest sportsmen this country has ever produced. Still at the top of his game 24 years after he first won this UK Championship. It is quite incredible. He's been disciplined.
16.
He's applied himself throughout this championship. And he's going to be going home
17.
with another trophy, his 3rd ranking event title of the season.
Yeah, and that was achieved in the last 6 to 7 weeks. Who knows what it can do for the rest of the season?
24.
We're only about halfway
25.
through.
Shaun Murphy kept with him to 5-all, but O'Sullivan made his move. Playing some scintillating
29.
snooker. Heavy hitting, good safety as well. That's been a factor today.
30.
This is just dreamland snooker.
36.
It really is. Unreal.
37. 44.
Going out in style.
45.
What other way would he do it?
$49.
It's another glorious chapter in the life and times of a snooker colossus. Ronnie rules the UK for a record-equalling 6th time. He also equals Stephen Hendry's record of 18 Triple Crown titles. What an incredible sportsman, what an incredible career, and it is clearly got a long, long way to run yet. He beats Shaun Murphy by 10 frames to 5.
Shaun, our commiserations. both of you came absolutely hearing out of the blocks this afternoon, and you provided the most incredible opening session. And when you came back from 2-4 behind to 4-all, what kind of hope and confidence levels did you bring into this evening?
Yeah, I was really looking forward to the game, and came into the whole match knowing that I'd have to be at my absolute best to beat Ronnie over the distance in a tournament that's so big. And unfortunately, I just wasn't good enough, you know, in the second session. I want to congratulate Ronnie on equaling the 6 titles by Steve Davis for this tournament. It's an absolutely phenomenal achievement. And, you know, it's not the end I wanted to the fortnight I've had. I've had a phenomenal 12 days here in York. The guys here have made it, the fans have made every moment just so special. You know, they've been great all week. And my friends and family who've been with me the whole time have made it really special. So, you know, not the ending I wanted, but I've had a great time here.
It's an 8th Triple Crown final, Shaun. It's your 4th final of the season. There's plenty more to come from you this term, I'm sure. Ladies and gentlemen, our runner-up, Shaun Murphy. Thank you, Shaun. Ronnie O'Sullivan, a record-equalling 6th UK crown, a record-equalling 18th major title. Both must sound very good to you tonight.
Yeah, you know, I just want to say well done to Shaun. You know, he's had a great tournament. He's been playing fantastic all season. You know, we had a great final in Coventry. So, you know, I just want to say well done to Shaun. But, you know, the records are great. You know, to equal it. And like Shaun said, you know, the fans this week have been unbelievable, you know. So I just want to say a massive thank you to them, and you know, just tried my best all week just to, you know, there's nothing left, you know. I mean, I give everything there is, you know. But you know, I'm over the moon, you know, to win any tournament, let alone, you know, the UK Championship. So happy, yeah. We talked about how Shaun contested so brilliantly this afternoon. It was a wonderful first session. But how pleased were you with the way you went through the gears from 5-all to 10-5 today? Yeah, I mean, I think we both can play better. You know, Shaun missed a few easy balls, you know, a little bit of bad luck as well, and you know, and that's all it takes sometimes, you know, just to, you know, if the other guy gets a bit of momentum, the modern game, you know, a lot of players can win 4, 5, 6 frames on the bounce. So, you know, that's just how snooker is these days. You know, it's a tough school. You know, 24 years ago, this gentleman came to the UK Championship at the age of 17 and won this one. And 24 years, you're still winning. Ronnie, when you look back, what does the Ronnie of now think of the Ronnie of then in terms of how you play the game? I don't know. I don't think I'm much different, really. I've just sort of like, you know, I've just tried to enjoy the game. I try to express myself. I try to attack the game and, you know, play the game how I think it should be played. And, you know, and when you get a few battle scars, you learn that maybe you can't attack as much all the time. So, you know, but I just love playing. I love competing. And I just can't believe I'm still playing at 42, you know, all these grey hairs and all that, you know. What's going on? I'm old enough to be most people's dads on the tour. Well, you're still playing and he's still winning. You're champion once again for a 6th time, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
So the whole tournament, of course, has come down to this moment, the presentation of the trophy. My word, though, he did give it everything, didn't he?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your presentation party, Steve Dawson, Chief Exec of World Snooker, and Alan Alger, Head of PR at Betway.
It's been a great tournament, this, and Shaun Murphy's more than played his part, but what are you supposed to do running into
the runner-up sort of receiving a silver medal and a cheque for £75,000. What a great ambassador for snooker, Shaun Murphy. And the winner, receiving a cheque for 170 big ones, the trophy and the title 2017 Betway UK champion, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Steve Davis was his boyhood hero, and he has equalled the legend's record of 6 UK championship titles. But on this sort of form, there could be many more yet. There could be many more at the Masters and at the Crucible and everywhere else this snooker circuit travels. A final word from you, Mike. We've witnessed something very special here.
Oh, unbelievable, unbelievable. I mean, what can you say? I mean, there's some great talent around the world in all sports, but this guy, well, He is the boy, isn't he? It really is. He is. We call him box office, and he is box office. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, the People's Champion, the UK Champion again, and so many more events to come this season. There could be many more trophies. That's his third ranking title of this campaign. 170,000. He goes over $500,000 prize money for the season. Not even at Christmas yet. And he'll be pitching up, of course, in Glasgow in the week at the Scottish Open, looking for one last title of 2017. So these are the pictures we've seen many, many times before in the arena. Ronnie O'Sullivan, once again, the last man standing at one of these major events. The UK champion for a record-equaling 6th time. It's been a great pleasure to watch it. I'll hand you back now to Colin and the guys in the studio.